Hey everyone, it's Alice, and I'm really going to regret this, but today I'm reacting to 1-star reviews of 5 of my 5-star books. So people have done this in the past and I find them really, really funny, so I thought I would give it a go. Let's get controversial, let's spill some tea, let's see who is reviewing my favourite books terribly and what they're saying about them, and see how sad it makes me. So, without further ado, because I'm me, I'm going to start off with Red Rising by P.S. Brown. I mean, I'm wearing my Red Rising hat. I've got Red Rising in my profile picture. I might as well start with Red Rising. And then nothing can hurt me more than things saying bad things about that. So we will go from there and see how it goes. So I'm going to load up Goodreads, and I'm going to go on to 1-star ratings, and we're going to see if we can find some funny ones and see what people have been saying about it, because this is a book that I've read like 6 times and I'm still giving it 5 stars. So a 1-star is going to be hard to take. Bam, bam. Okay, 1-star review. Oh my aching bloody damn gory balls. No, please, I insist. Allow me to put myself out of my own damn misery. Repetitive info dumps, shallow world building. Repetitive, show don't tell, horrible characters. Repetitive, stupid lingo, boring. Made me want to hurt myself. Made me want to hurt somebody else. And this won an award. You suck, but not as much as this book. When good ideas go very bad. Maybe I'm just bitter. Am I drunk? I wish I was drunk. Oh my god. Oh my god. This one's quite long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but brain dead? Want to be? Here's Red Rising. P.S. Brown. I'm a hack writer. Buy my copy of The Hunger Games on Mars. I mean, Red Roses, Red Riding Hood, Red Rising? Whatever. Here's what I wrote during my shift at McDonald's. Fuck originality, I'm in this for the Benjamins. 4-picture movie deal. Here I come. Oh my god. Well, yeah, I just wrote this on my shift at McDonald's. Oh my god. Oh wow. Mars, the future, generic. Yes. Comforting generic crap. Checklist writing an American bestseller. Hot jailbait ass. Crap romance. Dystopia future. Tell never show. Most readers can't tell the difference anyway. Plastic surgery. YA labels so no one is intimidated with big scary words or ideas. One-dimensional goodies and baddies because complex characterization is complex. Christian imagery. Info dump like crazy and call it world building instead of crap writing. Down home hero, you'll project onto him, right? Working classes equals good. Rich people equals bad because relatable. Working class hero fighting for equality and idealism. America, fuck yeah. Oh my god. This one here took me ages to get into this, and then some of it was very similar to The Hunger Games. I don't know, I found a lot of it absurd, and not in a good way. V conflicted. I haven't read The Hunger Games. Is that why I love Red Rising so much? Am I going to read The Hunger Games and be like, oh no, this is just like Red Rising? You know, with a book with such a high Goodreads rating and so many screaming fangirls, guilty. I honestly expected Red Rising to be better. I at least expected it to be good. Instead, I was always sent to sleep by the tragically slow plot and the bland writing. I could understand tragically slow plot on one of the later books in the series, but not on Red Rising. Those 2 things, along with an unremarkable main character who tried so hard to be remarkable, made for an awful reading experience. The whole point is that he's just like an everyman. Oh my god. I really do not get the hype surrounding this book. How? Oh, I started skim reading after like 200 pages because Red Rising completely failed to hold my attention, while I'm skim reading this review because this is failing to hold my attention. So, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Oh, and then I'll pick one more of these. I knew I probably wasn't going to like this book after the first sentence, but I never imagined that I would give up on it after only 1 chapter. The first thing you should know about me is that I am my father's son. Really? Fascinating. I mean, I know that this was supposed to tell the reader that the main protagonist is rebellious as his father, but it still doesn't make a good opening sentence. See, I think it does. I think that's quite a good first sentence because it's putting him in the context of his family, and family is such a huge thing for Darrow. But that's just me. In fact, there are several better ways to convey that message to the reader without being so obvious and just stating it. After all, if you develop the character properly, the readers should come to that conclusion all by themselves. I mean, fair enough on that last point, but like, I'm not. I like the first sentence. So that was Red Rising. Some funny ones. I'm not going to do too many for each one, or I will spiral down a rabbit hole and read every single 1-star review. So I'm going to go for a more recent favourite, which is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And this is like overwhelmingly well received. So it'll be interesting if there even are any 1-star reviews on this one, because everybody I have seen talking about this book loves this book. So please, sweet Jesus, don't be ripping it apart on Goodreads. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, it's got like a very, very small amount of 1-stars. Oh, this one is like not pulling any punches. Andy Weir cannot write, and I'm tired of people pretending he can. First, let's talk about characters. Well, there is no character here. I only see a vague man-shaped science textbook in an astronaut suit. Wait, let me put my glasses on. Oh, I know him. Quirky, wisecracky nerd who likes space. It's Mark Watney. To be fair, like, the cover is very, very similar to The Martian, so I would not even be surprised. Mark Watney's alone in space again. Oh, can you believe his luck? Anyway, he's alone and he's quirky and nerdy, and that's all very nicely boring, but hold on. There are flashback scenes. We get to meet other people, a diverse group of scientists from many countries to save the world. Yay! I'm not going to read any more of this one because it feels like it's going to get spoilery, but like, such a good way. Such a good way of starting it off. He cannot write and I'm tired of people pretending he can. This one. In the editor's note at the beginning of this book, the editor notes that they love this newest novel by Weir because it pushes the science. It also pushes all credibility and sense. I have a very strong willing suspension of disbelief, but this went too far, making it much more of a fantasy of about a 5-year-old than anything else. If you enjoyed the technical creativity of The Martian, you'll want to give this one a pass. I mean, if it's practically the same as The Martian, surely you're going to enjoy this one just as much. Oh, those ones contain spoilers. I like this because it's something that I also agree on, because when I saw that Ernest Cline had blurbed this, I was a bit like, oh. The fact that this book was blurbed by Ernest Cline is more indicative of the quality, style and storytelling than the fact it is marketed as a hard sci-fi novel. While the book isn't quite as odious as Artemis was at points, with some of the most awkward man-writing women prose I've recalled reading, you can tell that the reception of Artemis pressured Weir into writing this trite excuse of a novel, because it's basically The Martian 2.0. Again, I haven't read The Martian. Does that mean if I read The Martian I wouldn't have enjoyed Project Hail Mary? Maybe all of my favourite books are only my favourite books because of the order that I'm reading them in, which is, like, weird to think about. But okay. So I'm going to leave that one because most of these seem to be spoilery. And I'm going to move on to one that's a bit older, but is still one that I think of as a favourite of mine. And that is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I'm thinking that there's going to be some controversial ones in here. But I love the first book. I've read the first book twice, given it 5 stars both times. I just didn't really enjoy the second or the third book on rereads. So I am going to end up unhauling the series if I haven't already. But let's have a look and see what 1 stars this has. This is old, so I can imagine it's going to be like just people complaining about dystopians just in general. The 7 stages of reading hell, when you realise you're going to be the odd man out once again with a wildly hyped and popular book that everyone else loved. A very generous 1 star. The moral of this review, I should not read any more YA dystopian novels. Yeah, okay, you probably don't like dystopians if you're rating Divergent 1 star. Ooh, I am going to do something that I have never done before. I'm going to rate this book lower than every single one of my Goodreads friends. Do you know why? Because I hated the crap out of this book. Now, what follows might offend some lovers of this book. To Divergent fans, I'm sorry, I'm going to rip on one of your favourite books, but honestly, I almost wish I had this in paperback form so I could get the satisfaction of throwing it in the garbage. With gusto. Or maybe the fireplace. Right. Ooh. This book was written by a 20-year-old undergrad, and boy does it show. While Roth clearly has talent and a good editor, the plot holes add up until you end with a block of Swiss cheese. There are some pretty bad plot holes in it, to be honest. I can't even criticise that critique because, like, there are. Divergent, the most overrated, overhyped book I have ever read. Ever. I'm assuming this person did not read Twilight when that was getting overhyped. I'm going to do 2 more books for you today, and if you enjoyed this video, please let me know because I'm having a lot of fun filming this. So if you want a part 2, or if you want me to react to like 5 stars of 1-star books, like books that I rated 1 star, that could be fun too. So let me know. The next book I've chosen is Northanger Grabby by Jane Austen, which is my favourite Jane Austen book and the only one I gave 5 stars to. So I'm kind of interested where it's a classic to see what people's complaints could be about this one. So we will find out together. I was very disappointed in this book. I found the characters boring and cliche. Ouch. I think it's difficult calling a classic cliche because isn't the whole point that cliches are things that are repeated over time? So at the time it might have been fresh and new. Like, that's people, when they complain about classics being quite tropey, and I'm like, well, that's kind of where the tropes came from. Okay, tossing in the towel on this one with a DNF. I probably could finish it. It's sophomoric and immature, Austen's first pen novel and last published, if I recall correctly, and for good reason. My favourite Austen novel, and one I've read multiple times, is Sense and Sensibility. Honestly, I'd rather reread it than trudge through Northanger Abbey just to say I did. I didn't really like Sense and Sensibility all that much. I'm so happy to say that I finally got through this one. I don't hate classics, and I didn't totally hate this book, but considering it wasn't even 300 pages, I found it unbearable slow and lacking in plot. The whole story could have been wrapped up neatly in a short novella. No chapter ended with me wanting to know what would happen next. There were no unforeseen plot twists. My only motivation to pick this book up was for the sake of finishing it. See, I thought I could remember Northanger Grabby being quite gripping when I read it, because it's like her version of a gothic. So maybe these are people who don't like Gothic novels? I don't know. I'm gonna have to like reread it to see. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I don't want to hear of Jane Austen ever again. Northanger Abbey made me realise how boring all of her books are. They all revolve around the same dull subject of marriage, stupid and irrelevant gossiping, and attending monotonous balls. This caption is not intended to blame the people that love her books, it's just to state my honest opinion. Until I will actually study her works in college, I simply don't want to go anywhere near her books. I'm aware I'm going to sound mean, but her books make my neurons die. They are such flat and uninteresting characters that do nothing all day but spread rumours over rumours. I get it. It's how the English society used to be like in the 19th century. Be it so, it still makes me not want to hear anything of that epoch. There are plenty of other classic books awaiting me, and I think I'm done giving certain authors so many second chances. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, it died of boredom. At first, I thought that this might rival Pride and Prejudice. It does not. There's no chemistry between the two, whose names I have entirely forgotten. He's also 24 to her 16. Fun. All in capitals and an exclamation mark. Fun. Their dynamic is so much more siblings than lovers. Also, the worst thing is Austen just sort of gives up on writing out an ending. She literally speedruns it by just telling us what happened in the shortest amount of writing possible. Literally like, and then they married because the misunderstanding was resolved by... Also, she casually states that the guy only likes the main character because she always liked him, and it was gratifying that her love was guaranteed or some shit. Wow. So romantic. What girl wouldn't love to know that it was her guaranteed love that netted her man, rather than herself? Oh my god, I definitely need to reread this book because I don't remember getting that from it at all. But like, okay, I'm that was fun. And I'm torn between whether to do Strange the Dreamer or Scythe for my last one, but I think I can work out the bad things that people would say about Scythe, so I'm going to go with Strange the Dreamer. And Strange the Dreamer is one of my favourite books of all time. It's another one I've reread twice, and I've given it 5 stars both times, so I'm scared to see what people don't like about it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. That's fair. I wouldn't say it was 1 star worthy. Like, normally if something's not my cup of tea, I give it like a 2 or a 3 just for that effort. I DNF'd this book at 5%. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just not going to force myself to read something I am not enjoying. The purple prose and info dump that I tried to read through turned me completely off. I can't say much more than that since I didn't waste my time trying to struggle through this read. I would also say that the flow was just a slog. I tried to skim a couple of chapters and just gave up. Oh, see, I find it really immersive. I really like Lady Taylor's writing style because of the purple prose. controversial opinion. The YA fantasy, Strange the Dreamer, is one of the most morally repugnant books I've ever read. The novel relies on racism, classism, and ableism as central features of the plot, and these mindsets are held by the so-called heroes. The story is a traditional white saviour tale in which the white master race slave-owning colonialists are recast as blue-skinned demigods with magical powers. To read my full book review, you must follow the link to my website, blah, 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 blah. I don't really get that. Like, I understand the slavery comparisons, but that's not the story that's being told. That's, like, the history of the story that's being told. That's like saying that any book set in America that talks about racism is inherently kind of relying on slavery to be able to be told. I don't know. That one, I think, needs a bit of... I think that one needs a little bit of look at. But, like, fair enough, I suppose, but I wouldn't personally agree with that. This book is so bland and uninteresting, I just can't go on anymore. Most of the 1-star reviews are DNFs, which is interesting. I only 1-star review DNFs that I'm, like, actually disgusted by. I normally just put them as, like, no rating. No one in this book is having a good time, least of all the reader. Fair enough. I did it, I'm done. I've never been so relieved to finish a book in my life. Never again. Oh my god, I was so sad when I finished it. Please don't read this. If you don't like slow, dragging, confusing, cliche romance plot, then don't read. I didn't like any of the protagonists. They were both boring and none of them stood out. This book suffers from the side characters being more interesting than the main ones, and even then, I only listened to the entire audiobook because I already ordered the second one. Ouch. And I wanted to see what all the hubbub was about. It wasn't engaging. It described every little nonsense detail. Nobody was moving the plot, and I felt it was overly pretentious. The plot happened to them. The main characters were all insta-love with each other. Yeah, okay, it is a bit insta-lovey, but I like it. They both kept talking about, wow, I never had anyone make me feel this way. I just knew you were special since the moment I saw you. I mean, of course you thought he was special the moment you saw him. You're both main characters. Just don't read it if you don't like any of this kinds of stuff. Oh god, this book infuriated me to no end. I always feel as though 2 stars are too generous. That's good because you ended up choosing 1 star. The concept of this book is gorgeous. I couldn't resist buying it when I knew a character is called the Godslayer. Him, accompanied by a mythical magical world, what could go wrong? It's the perfect book, right? No, it is not, because that's where the awesomeness ends. At the concept. Instead of magic and wonder, I met with flat characters, sloppy world building, and something that's not at all the magic and wonder you'd think it will be. The forced rivalry between Laszlo and the Golden Sun is just that. Forced. And completely infuriating because it has absolutely no purpose in the story. It actually does. It has, like, quite a big purpose to the story, but okay. Furthermore, what's up with all the pointless love stories and the weird obsession with kissing? How many excruciating, poorly written kissing scenes can be described in a book? The answer is too many. Ouch. Oh, I'm going to stop on that one because it gets a little bit spoilery. But yeah, most of the ones on Strange the Dreamer are DNFs. So, like, I'm not too mad that it has quite a few 1 stars because DNFs are not really finishing the book. Which is why I don't DNF very often. But this was me reacting and having a very fun time. I got a lot less angry than I thought I was going to. I thought I would be raging. Instead, I'm just laughing my head off, which is nice. And dying, apparently. So this is me reacting to some 1-star reviews of my 5-star books. None of these have made me change my mind about the books. None of these have made me feel like I don't love these books anymore, so that's good. I still love these books with all of my heart. As I said, if you'd like a second round of this, please let me know. If you'd like me to do the opposite, please let me know. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you'd like to subscribe, we would be super duper grateful. We have just passed 600 followers and we are so thankful for all of you. So please continue watching our channel as we will be posting new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday for a little while now. And yeah, we'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye! Oh, my knees, I'm so old. I can't even stand that right. Oh. If you'd like to subscribe,